It's Friday night under the lights. Time to put up or shut up for the Belgrade Panthers, who have killed themselves in their 2 losses. Something they couldn't afford to do tonight for homecoming against the undefeated and 4th-ranked team in the state, the Lewistown Golden Eagles. Tyler Ward and the Panthers ready and rocking and rolling for this one. Lewistown quarterback Evan Stoken running for his life all game long. Brad Smith would get him on this one. Smith had a big day. Later, still in the first quarter, it'd be Mike Hatterley off the Belgrade wing tee. Hatterley breaks 1 tackle and he is gone. This is a 54-yarder for Hatterley. Belgrade on the board, 7-0. The student section fired up, and so are the Belgrade Panthers. Well, after Lewistown blocked a punt and tied it up at 7, here comes Hatterley again. Belgrade responded to everything Lewiston could throw at him, and Hatterley with a big run. That would set up the next play where Hatterley dropped back and finds Tyler Ward for the touchdown. Hatterley threw for 3 scores. Belgrade up 14-7, and they're not done. The wing tee offense for Belgrade clicking on all 4 cylinders. 8 if you like trucks. It's a Hemi. Armstrong, 73-yard run. Belgrade rolls 33-7, a huge win. Matt Hollowell will tell the story as he is fired up. Big win for the Panthers. Elsewhere in the Central A, the Butte Central Maroons took care of business at home against Browning, 35-12. The Havre Blue Ponies were impressive in a 61-0 rout in Livingston. The Dilling Beavers are the number 1 ranked team in Class A, and they proved it. Zach McCray and the gang in Stevensville tonight to take on the Yellow Jackets. First quarter for the Dillon Beavers, and it was the Zach McCray show out there. McCray to Tucker Vazina, 7-0 Dillon Beavers. And later, McCray just on target, on money. He is a great quarterback. This one to Jake Iverson. It's 20-0. My mom's old high school rocking and rolling in this one. There's McCray again, this time to Dana Ori. 27-0. McCray 4 TD passes in the first 18 minutes, and Dillon was leading this one 41-0 at the half. The Anaconda Copperheads improved to 2-0 in conference with a 21-12 win over Hamilton. Drummond picked up their 40th win in a row as they crushed Victor 64-8. The Manhattan Tigers and the Ennis Mustangs played the biggest game of the year so far in the District 5B. Ennis tried to hold serve at home homecoming night, but Manhattan had other ideas. We're underway in this one, and in the first quarter it'd be Jackson, Hollywood Northway. Look at him scoot through the hole, and that'd be good enough for a first down, and that would set up this. Ethan Ellsburn to Bryce Shows, 7-0. Shows showing his way, and the Mustangs to a 7-0 lead. So Manhattan trying to come back. Here's the screenplay to Josiah McLeod. Evel Knievel's grandson with a leap like that. He's doing his granddad proud. Next play, Toby Reisig. He finds Brian Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, inside the 5. Manhattan knocking on the door. But on your next play, a bad snap put Manhattan out of range, and they go on and lose 21-7. That's a big win for the Ennis Mustangs. Well, in Billings, the Bozeman Hawks tied it up at 10 in the fourth quarter as Jimmy Underhill recovered a fumble for a defensive touchdown. A huge roughing penalty by the Hawks kept West's game-winning drive alive, and the Bears upended the Hawks 17-10. To college football, the Bobcats play at Northern Arizona. Kickoff 4:05. The Lumberjacks have the leading receiver in the Big Sky in Alex Watson, and it's also Jason Murrieta's senior season. The Jacks will be a tough opponent for the Bobcats.
Well, they're playing very well. Jason's struggled quite a bit. His sophomore and his junior years, he went through new offensive coordinators, and he threw more interceptions than touchdowns the last 2 years. But his numbers this year are 10-2, and that shows that he's playing very well and efficiently and within himself. Now, he's been sacked 27 times in 4 ball games, so he's been running for his life a little bit, and hopefully we can continue some of that this Saturday.
The matchup of the week in the Big Sky Conference features Montana at Portland State. The Vikings are 2-0 in conference, and the Grizz will need another great performance on defense to stop Sawyer Smith. One of the biggest stars should be Montana senior defensive end Dustin DeLuey. Number 21 had a career-high 12 tackles against Sacramento State last weekend and attributes a lot of the defensive success to the newfound offensive explosion by the Grizz.
We love it. It makes our job so much easier. Last year, like I said, it was kind of the other way around, and so with now the offense doing as well as they are, it makes it easier for us to do good. We're not on the field as long. There's not as much pressure that we immediately have to perform. So if we do have one big bad play, it doesn't break the whole game. Hopefully they continue to do that well. Score 60 every week. Take all the pressure off.
The Montana Tech Oredigers put their 3-0 conference record to the test tomorrow at 1 o'clock in Helena against the #1 ranked team in NAIA, the Carroll College Fighting Saints.
Well, I told the players the other day, in this world of give and take, there's not enough people willing to give what it takes. Carroll's players will give what it takes, and so will our players. Should be a great game.
Coach Green believes that this game will be decided up front with the defensive and offensive lines. They hope to get Teague Egan going against Carroll College.
Teague is just really, really emerging as a running back. And of course, anytime you talk about a running back, you have to credit the offensive front. And our offensive front has just been playing exceedingly well. Coach Sampson and Coach Deeks have done a great job with those guys. Their steps, their continuity is outstanding. And Teague reads those blocks, and he has a running style that once he breaks open, it's very difficult to catch him.
The Western Bulldogs go for their first win of the season as they play in Billings against Rocky, who's 0-3 in conference. Kickoff for that one, 1 o'clock. Well, it's time for the NFL Blitz, and I'm looking pretty salty so far, going 8 for 9 in the first 3 weeks. Let's get it started. Ha! Let's get it started in here. We'll begin with the Sunday night game on NBC as the Chicago Bears host the Seattle Seahawks in a battle of 3-0 teams and the two most impressive teams in the NFC. Seattle is the most balanced team in football. They have a good passing attack, running attack, and defense. I was all set to pick Seattle until I found out Sean Alexander won't play. The Bears prove they're legit this week. They win at Soldier Field. Next up, the New Orleans Saints at Carolina. Wasn't it something watching the entire country rally around the Saints in a Monday night win over Atlanta as the NFL returned in New Orleans? But just like after Mardi Gras, I expect a hangover. Carolina needs this game, and with Steve Smith back, look for the Panthers to hand the Saints their first loss of the season. Finally, Baltimore hosts San Diego. Both of these teams are undefeated. Both of these teams have an elite defense, and yet both of these teams have only played against garbage opponents. It's a tough call. Aaron McNair and the pathetic Baltimore offense against unproven quarterback Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. I got the Chargers because in the end, they have a playmaker on offense, the best running back in the NFL, LaDainian Tomlinson. Here are your scores.